Hi guys, welcome back to the colourful table channel. Can't really see the colour in the table too much because we've got a massive parcel in front of us here today. Yeah, I didn't really know what this was, to be fair. This just arrived and I was like, I don't think I've ordered anything, and especially something that would be in such a huge box. So I have actually opened it just to sort of find out what it was in a sense, but as soon as I saw like the top layer of this inside, I knew exactly what it was. So we're going to save it for a video, which is what we're doing right now. So thank you for watching, guys. So yeah, this is from Limited Run Games. No idea when I ordered this, but it feels like it was probably about a year ago. Obviously I'm trying to downsize, so something I ordered a year ago, essentially not something that I need right now, I guess, but then I do want the stuff that's in this box. But then I do remember, after seeing what's inside this box, after having a glimpse, bloody hell, this is a long-winded sort of, I always do this, long-winded sort of introduction. I'm sure you're just excited to see what's inside here, as am I. But when I saw, like I say, the top layer of this, I knew what it was. And then it reminded me of an email I got that said that this stuff had been shipped, and that was probably like a month ago, which is why I'd forgotten. But this is only like half the stuff, so the best bits, I guess, in a sense, are still being manufactured, I believe. I think they're due for November, so I mean, cutting it tight, because we're planning on leaving probably November. I'm not sure whether or not we'll meet that sort of deadline, but yeah, hopefully I don't need to sort of chase up address changes or whatever. So I see we're already 2 minutes in, and I've only just opened the box, so you'll see what this is straight away. I don't think there's too much in here, but I cannot wait till November to sort of put all this together, so we'll find out what is actually in here. Well, there's quite a few things actually. So we've got and I remember going overboard on this. I was debating whether or not I need to do this, and then you know what it is, split the moment sort of decision. I was like, bollocks to it, I'll do it. And that's what we've got, and that's what we've done, if you can hear me over the rustling. So we've got a Rocket Knight plush, Sparkster himself, Konami branded, Konami. And there's his rockets. We'll move this box out of the way in a moment, but yeah, he looks pretty cool. He's a decent representation. I mean, he's what you'd expect in a plush. Something about him, it doesn't look quite right. I don't know if it's the face. Maybe he seems a bit too happy, and like more of like a, you know, like a determined look might have been better. We've got a really long loose thread there that I'm gonna have to snip off, because that is quite noticeable. Let's try and do this gently. Try not to cut off a whisker. There we go. Okay. But yeah, quite pleased with that actually. Oh, there's his, is that ears or is that part of his helmet? Obviously he's a knight with goggles that you can actually adjust down. That's pretty sick, to be fair. Is that on camera? I don't even know, I'm not even looking. But yeah, his goggles are a little bit too wide. But there you go, you get the sort of idea behind that. Yeah, actually not too bad. Nice whiskers going on. Rockets look a bit like carrots, carrot heads, but they're cool. There's his tail, shoes, and of course the sword. Yeah, pretty pleased with that actually. Unusual sort of character to get a plush, which is why I wanted to get the plush, because you don't often see Rocket Knight, if at all actually, Rocket Knight Adventure merchandise. As soon as I saw this release, this game release, I was excited. Oh, the game is actually in here, which I wasn't expecting. So, long story short, I have ordered a collector's edition for the PS5. So I must have just thought, oh, I'll order the standard edition for Switch. Maybe there was dates on there and I thought, oh, well, I'll order that, and then at least I've got a game to go with it. So we've got quite a few goodies in here. They did actually go insane with all the the different goodies available for this release, which I wouldn't normally do. There's probably only a few series that I would do it for, like Shenmue. Obviously I would buy absolutely everything. Sonic, I'd probably, if Limited Run Games did like a collection, like loads of little bits and bobs, that would probably be something that I would buy. And then beyond that, not too much would get me sort of excited enough to want to buy loads of different items. I mean, they've almost done it in the past with a couple of things that I've talked myself out of. But Rocket Knight, I just love the original Rocket Knight adventures on Mega Drive. Probably one of my top 10, I'm not saying top 10 games of all time, probably one of my top, let's shorten it down, top 5 I would say Mega Drive games of all time. So probably the 5 that are in that top 5, if Limited Run Games were to do something with them and go overboard with all the bits and bobs, those probably would be. Obviously Sonic 3 Knuckles, it's probably my top. Just trying to think out loud now. Maybe Rocket Knight Adventure might be, maybe not. Super Fancy Zone I like. In no particular order, I guess, but Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. I'm tempted to say Sonic 2 as well, you know. These needs a bit more thought, that does, actually. But this is definitely in my top 5. So it looks like we get a nice little manual / comic I've just noticed in there. So we see all of the games that are included here. Obviously you've got Rocket Knight Adventures, which was the Mega Drive release. Sparkster, which is basically Rocket Knight Adventures 2. That was released for Mega Drive and I believe SNES. I'm not sure if Rocket Knight Adventures was SNES, I don't think so. And then Sparkster, ooh, is this... See, I'm not even sure actually. Apart from the first game, I haven't actually played Sparkster, which, considering how much I love the first game, is crazy really. So I'm excited for this release because I get to finally play Sparkster. I'm not sure the difference is, maybe one is the Mega Drive version and one is the SNES version, because I think it was just called Sparkster. And then I'm sure there was like a Game Boy version or a Game Gear game that is meant to be on here too, possibly. It does say 3 beloved classics. So Rocket Knight Adventures Resparked contains Rocket Knight Adventures, Sparkster, which is Rocket Knight Adventures 2, and Sparkster. Yeah, off the top of my head, I'm not 100% where these releases were. Maybe it says here, I didn't read that, but yeah, we've also got the comic that I believe was printed in one of the Sonic the comics back in the day. So it's nice to get a reprint of that. So obviously these have sort of just been scanned in and then reprinted. And they look quite good, obviously, because of the small format. I'm not sure if they've been printed slightly bigger in the PlayStation 5 manual. Obviously we'll see that later in the year. But pretty cool to get all 4 parts there. Yeah, really cool. And there's the game for the Switch. So yeah, looking forward to getting stuck into that. Let's see what else we've got in here. So we've got Rocket Knight Adventures Resparked, the official soundtrack on cassette. Not quite sure why I did this. I don't know why my voice went so high pitched there. Yeah, not quite sure why I did that. I think as I was just ordering stuff, I was like, oh, this is like probably the only other thing I haven't bought. So I was like, go on then, we'll chuck it in. I don't have any means of playing this, so I probably will leave it sealed. But yeah, pretty cool to sort of have on the shelf there. I mean, it is the soundtrack, but it also reminds me of a Spectrum cassette tape that I had back in the day. Not that Sparkster was ever released on the Spectrum, but hopefully you can see what I mean there. It's a video game character on the front of a cassette tape. Oops, sorry. Apologising for knocking the camera. And yeah, finally we've also got the soundtrack on vinyl, which I actually can play, and we should be able to play to sort of wrap up this video. So guys, what are your sort of memories of Rocket Knight? Did you play this game back in the day? Did you play it on the Mega Drive, Genesis or whatever, or even the SNES if you're watching, Nintendo fans perhaps, I don't know. Obviously I'm not a Nintendo fan, even though I've just bought a Nintendo game there, the Switch. You sort of have to these days, right? But I was obviously a massive Sega fan, and Sparkster, well, Rocket Knight Adventures rather, was one of my favourite Mega Drive games of all time. you've probably just seen, if you watch my videos and you've seen my Mega Drive collection video, majority of the games I did sell. Rocket Knight Adventures was one of them, to be fair, but as people may be aware, one of my goals is to sort of recollect in Japan, and I'm going to absolutely love trying to find Rocket Knight Adventures, the Japanese version. I hope it exists. I haven't actually done that much research into what does and what doesn't exist in Japan, but I'm pretty sure a character like this had its release in Japan. So there we go, limited run games, vinyl. There's a few little sort of cardboard scuffles and a little bit of a crease there, which is unfortunate, but obviously you've just seen me, it was sealed. Is that focusing? I don't even think that's focusing, is it? But yeah, it says Rocket Knight Adventures Resparked official soundtrack. We've got some lovely original drawing artwork on the front. There are all the well, there you go then. So you've got Rocket Knight Adventures, which is Mega Drive, Sparksters, which was the Mega Drive, and the SNES version as well, which yeah, I believe the reason being is because it's a completely different game, so you actually do get 3 games despite it being called Sparkster. I love that artwork. Look at that pixel artwork of him sort of doing his boost fly dash thing through the sky there. Love it. I don't know why I pulled that record out, but we've actually got 3 records, which I'm running out of space because of this. I've never actually seen a record within the middle section before. So let me just get them out in this particular order. And yeah, pop that down there a moment just to sort of, yeah, lovely artwork there. You can see across all 3 panels. I like that idea actually. I don't know, there's another piece of artwork. If there's anything, I mean, actually thinking about it with Shenmue World Issue 3, the trifold poster, that's literally the same sort of idea as what I want to try and achieve with the 3 aspects of the poster there, how it folds. But yeah, lovely artwork. Let's start with side A side. This has probably got all the bangers, like the introduction and the opening music that is probably the most recognisable. With a black mark on there. Yeah, but yeah, lovely. So we've got sort of marsupial orange that I'm going to pop on right now. Hopefully it's not too loud. Let's see. There's my little handle thing. Where's that little handle? There. Let's see. I imagine it goes da 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 da. Oh, it's going to probably be the Konami introduction logo. Yes, I thought it would be. Ah. Da 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 da. Dun dun. Right, so we've got a record per each soundtrack, which makes sense. So this is going to be your Rocket Knight Adventures. This is going to get the most play in my house. But once I get accustomed to Sparkster, the Genesis version, if it's got equally as good music, I love the blue, Sonic Blue, then looking forward to actually hearing the soundtrack for the sequels. And then we've got the SNES version of Sparkster, which again I believe is a completely different game. And that is more mousy colour, isn't it, that? Marsupial cream. Fantastic stuff, guys. So I'm going to leave it at that anyway. Let me know, like I say, in the comments below, if you're a Rocket Knight Adventures guy or a Sparkster guy, and what your original memories are of playing the series. Turn this down a second. And yeah, look out for a video sort of November, potentially a little bit later, depending on how long it takes them to ship. Hopefully it arrives okay, and depending on what's happening with my sort of future existence and stuff-on-trend, potentially see what happens. Hopefully I don't have to chase up an address change or anything like that. But yeah, looking forward to seeing the actual collector's edition, which looks huge. It's jam-packed full of stuff. That's going to be a really fun video and exciting as well. Hopefully the game is as good as one would assume it is. It's been done on this carbon engine thing that limited run games are sort of doing, where they're re-releasing a lot of the classics, sort of remastering, and they're able to sort of fix any glitches, I guess. And I don't know, that's kind of the dealio that I was thinking would happen, and make sure that they're like proper good ports for modern day systems. So yeah, exciting stuff, guys. Looking forward to getting stuck in, playing all three. By the time that the December video, November, late November, whatever the collector's edition comes, I'll have some thoughts about Sparkster and Sparkster 2, etc., whatever it's called, for the Genesis and NES version. So yeah, I guess look forward to that as well if you care. Right, guys, thank you very much for listening, or watching rather, and I'll see you again in the future. Take care. Shouldn't have done that. I thought it might be a nice ending to have this music playing with my videos popping up. Bucket will still do it, so there'll be a video here, and I'll put my little channel subscribe button thing there, and this last 20-second chunk with this music overplaying that you can't hear because I'm talking. And now it sounds a bit whiny because I've moved it. That way, that's me waving.